Welcome back, everyone, to Lobby Legends Magic of Azeroth. As I said at the start, the fifth of our Lobby Legend events for this year. And we've had quite a few repeat performers already so far this year. We're seeing, obviously, Zixo again, Ribapusa, XQN, a lot of these repeat performers, but none of them with the victory to their name, which is, of course, what they're all looking to get for this weekend.
Yeah, I remember with Masters Tours and with tour stops, it was always like, who's going to be the first one to get two? And obviously it was Hunter Ace on tour stops, but then with Masters Tours, it's like, no one will ever get two. And then Bly's from nowhere, didn't really know who he was, just won two in a row. Yeah. So we're waiting for that moment in Lobby Legends where somebody wins their second one, with it only being the fifth tournament. Obviously, we're still waiting for a lot of people to win their first one. But slowly but surely the ranks are growing, and with several more events this year, I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody win twice. We're seeing a lot of repeat performers, a lot of people in the final day, multiple times. Dapido obviously doing it 3 times, so I think we are going to see at some point somebody win 2 of these, but probably not this time around. I think, like you said, we haven't got a winner in this field this time. I think Ribapusa versus XQN tomorrow would be a fantastic thing to see. I'm not biased. It's just a thing I think that people would enjoy watching. Ribapusa, somebody who I don't think we stated enough how good he's been going into this. He's already done well in every single qualifier, just like XQN has. Did well in original tournaments, like when people were running community tournaments. He won a couple of those early days. Very strong player, so somebody I'm expecting to do well tomorrow. And not at all surprised to see him get out of the group.
Me neither, yeah. But in terms of our players here that we have today, obviously XQN is the player that we keep talking about being most familiar with, having seen him play plenty on stream. In your estimation, is he the kind of player that does well at the start of metas where everyone needs to figure stuff out with the quests? Or is he one of those players that you see in both Constructed and Battlegrounds where they just, once the meta is figured out, they grind it and they just become the best at it?
XQN is absolutely the first category. He just looks at cards, know what they do, and play them. Like, you could just have random text on the cards that you have to read at the start of the game, and he'd just know, oh, I'm going to take this because later on there'll be a random card that does this, I'm sure of it, and he'll just take it, and that will appear, and then he'll be good. He just sees the matrix. I think Sottle used to say that about life coaching, Constructed, but XQN just sees the matrix. He just understands all of the interactions and how they're going to interact with all the other interactions. And yeah, I'm going over the top and saying how great he is. That's because he's really good. Deal with it. Yeah. Better than you watching. He's better than us casting. He's good at this game.
Well, better than us casting. Let's not go crazy, okay? I have reached a pretty decent MMR myself. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he's better than everybody watching, and he's better than me. But Darek,
hey, I mean, I see his rank.
It's in the balance.
I see his rank, and it says he's like 15,000th, whereas I'm like 300th. So clearly, I'm way better than him, right? That's how MMR works.
Yes, that's exactly what those numbers mean. Exactly, Darek. Well done.
Yeah, I knew him.
Coming across from Constructed didn't fail you on the numbers front, did it? Well, yeah. Numbers actually mean something. Whereas me, I'm really good at Constructed because Darek's like, got 100 MMR in Constructed, and I've got like 20,000 or something. It's great.
Way better. Yeah, that's how it works. But still, once again, waiting to jump into the game here between.
Yeah, go on. Finish that sentence.
All of our players. Yeah, I mean. Yeah. Any thoughts on the metagame? Any games that we've seen so far, Lorinda? Any quests that we haven't seen that you've done well with?
Go there.
Hoping to see.
Apart from we just haven't seen Wisdom Ball. That's
the big one.
I want to see Wisdom Ball. I want to see it do wisdomy things because I still don't know what all the things it can do are, but it can do a lot, and it's dumb, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you saw me play a Wisdom Ball game last night with both you and Sottle spectating, which was admittedly not the most constructive way to do it when you have two people trying to tell you at the same time and you're waiting for confirmation on all your plays. But it was just absolute information overload. Like, it was the biggest disaster of a game I've played in a long time. Hitting triples, roping them out, though, and, like, having no idea what to do. But it's a very, very cool quest reward. And like you say, I do hope we get to see it at some point, especially as I believe it was one of the quest rewards that was buffed. In the
This is a bit rude. They've interrupted our chat with some Battlegrounds breaking out.
How dare.
Interesting choice here. Oh my goodness, even more interesting. I was going to say it's between Denathrius and Millhouse, but going even more wide and secure here.
Yeah, the Galewing, very interesting. One of those 3-on-3 heroes typically, which we talk about not being too strong. Seeing more and more, it feels like these players not going with the typically strong, no armor heroes, and instead going with these kind of mid-tier heroes that have obviously a better armor class.
Yeah, the armor being a big deal, as you're implying there, because you do get a reduction in how difficult it is to complete quests. And as you may have heard us mention once or twice today, this metagame is all about quests, so it does seem like the players are rating the armor pretty highly. I've made a mini spreadsheet as to how impactful armor can be, and I think it's still just in the balance. I'm not willing to call it either way, but the players you're seeing there, only 3 players going for non-armored characters here out of 8.
Does look like we have the very spicy new strat available from Lich Baz of level on 1, very possibly level on 2 as well, right? Is what you're sometimes looking at, which is pretty spicy to see.
Yeah, interesting. We talked about 3-on-3. Well, yeah, Alex, welcome back to broadcast. We miss Alex.
3-on-2. Oh,
3-on-2. What even those numbers mean?
Oh, that is spice. Yeah, double tad instead.
The shop's just good, right?
A little bit more responsible. You would be just like basically dead already if you do that and go 3-on-2, take 4 damage, lose the next fight as well.
But I mean, look at this 3-on-3 he's got next turn. It fits the curve for 3-on-3 without having to sell it. And then he's got the 2 tads for the turn after, and who knows what's going to be in that shop. So, well, Bob knows. And then he'll get his quest announced as well. This is the sort of 3-on-3 I like.
What, the one where you have 3 minions in play? Yeah, I like that 3-on-3 as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The damage shouldn't be understated on Lich. I absolutely love how this works out, but over the course of a game, you can lose maybe 2 fewer fights than you can normally lose, which, again, it's like, yeah, but I'm so strong, I won't lose any fights. Well, if you're 80% for every fight, as that triple goes into the shop and he is excited by it, if you're 80% to win every fight, you are going to lose an extra fight somewhere along the line still. Yeah. So you've got to watch your health total.
Ooh, okay. Spicy options. Khadgar plus Rat Pack, you know, interesting, of course, just for some immediate synergy. But Amber Guardian, even without the dragon to go alongside it, is kind of catching my eye, just for a potential high power swing in the next few turns.
Just looking at the shop, because I can see that alley cat. I'm trying to work out, there's so much stuff that goes with this shop, right, as well. State of this because of
that's
what
nice.
You said about the Rat Pack, but yeah, the tabbies.
Makes sense to me, just giving you an immediate pair for a potential triple. As we see, the Tad was passed up, I'm guessing, right? The Tad triple, not something. Oh, did he take the triple? Oh, yeah, sorry, in order to get the Taragosa. Yeah, you're right. And then sold it for 2 Murlocs. That makes sense.
And apparently Galewing stayed on 2, so the talk of 3-on-3 for the whole day will continue if Galewing stayed on 2. Right, good luck, everybody. Grab some quests.
Getting more Tads as well. Play 6 Murlocs or Dragons with 2 more Tads in the shop. That is extremely completable. But so is Mirror Shield. Tad working very nicely with both of those ones.
I like Mirror Shield and Murlocs in personally, because you can get those Divine Shield Poison Murlocs, which are kind of the dream. Didn't actually see what he ended up taking there.
I think it was Snicker Snacks in the end, which is, you know, it has some very obvious synergy with Murlocs if you can get yourself Begurgle or the Lookout as well. You have some huge synergy available there. Cry for Help on the Galewing. We have seen that be a little bit weak, I will admit, so far. As Stolen Gold for Alicia San is okay, but having 18 friendly minions die is a really long way away when compared to like the Parasol, which looks a lot more completable.
Yeah. Wow, we're doing well here. We're seeing a lot of these. Thank you for this, Sottle. Staff.
Oh, Staff with Khadgar and the Rat Pack.
You've got to. You just have to. You're going to complete it in 2 or 3 turns.
Oh, let's go, baby.
Gonna see the stuff.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think more realistically 3 or 4, but maybe you're right. Honestly, this Rat Pack could really pop off.
Yeah, it's probably going to be several turns, to be fair, but going to be so good. It carries you so far when it completes.
All right, so what are we looking at? XQN was the player on Staff, right, that we saw. Yunchang with Evil Twin, sorry, available. He has to buy 9 minions in order to activate that, and he is on Murloc Homes. Okay, not necessarily obvious synergy, but has proven to be a very powerful quest reward so far. Alex JP on the Murlocs, though, just kind of popping off here and looking to get the Snicker Snack on the next turn, maybe 2 turns time as well. Looking to be a real mid-game bully, I think, at the moment.
The XQN's got 50 friendly minions need to die here for his
Oh,
staff.
really? Ooh.
That's going to take a while, but staff's a staff.
I mean, that's like 7 turns or something right now. Like, that's going to take forever.
Just can't get the staff these days, damn it.
Hardy har har.
It's been coming for a while. What is he going to do? So this is the XQN boards where I watch him play and think, well, this guy's just rubbish. What's all this stuff doing? And in 2 turns' time, it'll just be not that anymore. It'll just be something fine.
Yeah, it's weak, but it's diverse. He has many options that he could explore here. Fritterus has placed 6 Murlocs or Pirates, and then Alter Ego, yeah. So even or odd minions in Bob's Tavern are +6/+6, which, you know, with no real direction right now, is a decent way to just ramp up that tempo in the next few turns once it is completed.
Coruscant has the stealth quest available for only 10 friendly minions die, so that's potential beast candidate right there. Very easy to complete, which means that they'll be able to level up a bit more quickly to look for those quality beasts if that's the way they want to go. There's plenty of other ways to go with it. I just talk about beasts because they happen to live on 5, a lot of the strong beasts, and that's where you're looking for your Baron if you have that quest. So, yeah, that's a relevant thing to worry about.
All right, Snicker Snack's online. Overseer passed up, but my goodness, some of these battle cries are juicy.
Oh my!
You can make it so the only 2 battle cries on board are Dwolfins, right? If you sell the Rock Pool, which you're very happy to do,
and you need to sell the 4/3 as well.
You
don't have to. Oh, it's not a battle cry.
It's not a battle cry. It's a continuous effect. Yeah.
So yeah, this is going to be huge.
Yeah, JP like mega scaling at this point, or Alex, I suppose I should say, is the more relevant part of his name. But very much in a dominant position right now, with Yunchang in an interesting position of his own. Right, he needs to clear up 1 more space. Oh no, he's not going to get the triple anyway. Yeah.
So he needs to buy 9 minions total. Summon a copy of your highest health minion. So yet another Evil Twin. An Evil Twin with this board, no, but Evil Twin with what this board's going to be in 2 or 3 turns, potentially with a big Hydra or something. Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, that's true. A big Hydra, you know, maybe Baby Crush, one of these more powerful minions you're really looking at popping off then.
Eastleaf continuing the long, drawn-out quest to get towards the staff. Getting set up as well. Notice the tower goes there for when you get the staff. Absolutely ridiculous.
He's slowly getting there. These are all good hits so far. He's getting value out of the beast, sorry, the bird buddy, and the Chadgar as well.
Yeah, and not dying as well. So 2/3 of the way pretty much towards doing that quest.
I think that was a win for XQN as well, which means that we are still reaching that point of being kind of close. XQN, I think, did he just complete his quest on that turn? I think we saw the little pop-up there, which was Staff of Origination, I believe.
Let's have a look. No, not done yet.
Oh, okay, sorry, my mistake.
He's 50 friendly minions to die. And just... Oh, hang on. Look at this hand, though. Not the board, but the hand.
Uh-huh.
Those friendly minions are gonna start dying.
True.
He needs to complete Staff right now. Not right now. He's not going to complete it right now, but you know, as soon as possible, or he's in trouble. Those Peggies are so tempting. Everything's so tempting, but this isn't a board. He needs to do some work to stay alive.
How are we upgrading it? Is it just the obvious, I don't know, like sell the cat, the muck,
I mean, yes.
Spawn as well, and just
yes.
play your 3 minions, right?
The bigger question is, are we taking one Peggy and then freezing again to try and hit the triple Peggy?
Or, I guess, yeah.
I think that the Matron Juggler is pretty much set in stone. Gonna take the arm as well? Yeah, okay, sure.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I was kind of wondering if you just like specifically roll for another Matron to hit the triple, but I guess the triple isn't even that good necessarily right now because you'd like both Matrons online ready to go. So this makes sense to me.
Floating a gold. Yeah, did get something out of the shop, so.
Do you know
Free Peggy. Very nice.
Oh, a very clutch bird body.
Should be enough to not take much damage. You're only 18 out of 50, Derek. That's a long, long way to go.
It's pretty close here. Really want to kill this mama bear before the hyenas are spawned. It'd be a big difference, and he is going to be able to pull that off with a nice hit there. Okay, decent hits all around, but not enough to take the win, which means that falling into the danger zone is XQN. Could be in for an 8th place in the first lobby here, unless he turns things around right now. This is the turn.
It does take the triple Peggy. I'm a big XQN fan, as I've made very obvious, but I will be surprised if he completes this quest before he dies.
Yeah.
This triple might be able to get him another turn or two. I might be wrong, but I think he's going to struggle to get this done. He's just pretty weak.
Divine Shields versus Bazile, not likely to be especially... Oh, sorry, the Tunnel Blast not likely to be especially useful against a bunch of Murlocs.
Bear going to help in any way to survive? Because this is survival now. Like, this is quest out the window, try not to die.
Yeah, I mean, you pick the Mama Bear because it's immediate tempo. Maybe you can make it work with somehow, I don't know, hitting Hydra or tripling into a...
Yeah, that.
Yeah, tripling into Baby Crush or Crocolisk, something like that. Hyena is something as well.
Yeah, this also allows him to still have the dream of completing a quest one day. But I mean, this is going to be torture for XQN. Like, some of the cards he's gone through already, we've seen, would have been ideal if he had a bit more time. But yeah, just going for anything with numbers written on it.
And it's a decent board, you know, for turn 8. That is potentially winning, for sure.
Like Eastleaf finally got rid of the Khadgar because he has completed the staff. Double Taragoza, Derek.
Oh my god.
With staff.
So
this is so huge, man. Look at this board. It's dumb.
Yeah, that is enormous.
So you were asking earlier about, you know, do people go to 6 now? And I was sort of saying, well, it's hard to get to 6 because reason.
Right.
This is when you get to 6. This is where you just go, okay, my board looks after itself for 2 turns. I'm off. Leave it a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the question, I guess, was more like, what do you do once you're at 6? What are you looking for that makes it worth leveling, as opposed to just trying to find, like, triple Taragosa? But I guess here, just, like, anything strong.
Just stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you've got the engine to get you there. You'll have a look around when you get there. It might stay at 5 because of beasts, but yeah. Oh, my God!
I think that might be it. What Taventir is his opponent on 5? I think that's the one he loses to. No! Oh, the 1 health left on that one Murloc, meaning that XQN goes out in 8th in our first lobby. Disaster!
Yeah, absolute disaster for XQN, but still has a chance to get back, obviously, with his consistency. But, you know, I hyped him up, and he bit off a lot there with that staff, and it was a bit too much.
Yeah, just unable to stabilize, coming so close as we're getting a good look at our first beast lobby, right? Like you talked about it at the start, and we're getting plenty of beasts, either all in or kind of halfway. Bird Buddy making it way into like 3 of our comps right now. Mama Bear doing a good job as well.
And this is the right-hand minion stealth quest. Sorry for not knowing all of the names instinctively yet. I have to look them up from time to time, even though I sort of know them.
Parasol.
Yeah, which is weird because it's the one I've taken the most personally. So how I don't know it's a parasol, I don't know.
Well, stealth Mama
kind
Bear
of lives here. It's a bit of a problem.
Nice. How do you mean?
Well, you sort of want to have a board of new stuff being built, but
sure,
this tipper's just not going anywhere for the time being.
All right, so that is Evil Twin, which means we have a split, right, on which one you're going to be getting.
Yeah.
All of them are fine, though, honestly. Like, probably you'd rather the Crocolisk the most for scaling, but just having more Death Rattles that summon minions is pretty good with Mama Bear, with Bird Buddy.
And it'll be buffed, I believe, as well. Like, coming into play effects on the Mama Bear and everything, I think they work with Evil Twin.
Yeah, that would make sense. It is summoned.
Yeah, huge Crocolisk would be tasty.
Oh man, that staff though, that is tough to overcome, right?
Whew. Yeah, it's just silly. Oh, you see the difference though, right? XQN coming 8th, picking staff because couldn't get the quest done.
Yeah.
And on the other side of it, we're just watching Eastleaf absolutely terrorize this lobby.
I mean, what was the difference? It was have 50 minions die or summon 35 minions. Like, I think it's pretty clear that Eastleaf got the easier one, right? Because they are both synergized with Death Rattle minions or Reborn minions, and Eastleaf's just a significantly lower number to be able to hit. And you can, of course, just stealth through a bunch of minions at the same time. As we do see Penguin-san falling by the wayside as well in 7th place. The slightly unusual strat, I believe, of going for not 3-on-3 with the Gale Wing didn't work out in this instance.
It's weird to me as well, but I've seen it somewhere else as well, so a thing to keep an eye on. Also picking Gale Wing over, what was it, Denathrius and Millhouse, I think, in their opening choices. I understand not picking Denathrius to some extent because you're scared of the bad one, even though I do agree that it's a good hero. But Millhouse, to me, is just so good right now. I'll be interested to see just what other people do with Gale Wing as the weekend progresses.
Right, so how is Alicia-san scaling right now? Currently no real ability to do so. The Leaper synergy is limited at best. And really, he's just been relying on the power of Overseer, I think, to see him through this mid-game. Whereas now, the plan becomes decidedly more foggy as to how he's supposed to move forward.
Yeah, you look at this board, the first thing you see, well, the first thing chat will see is the massive golden leaper on the left-hand side, obviously. But the first thing I see is the Overseer and think Fellbat.
Okay.
I really want to get a Fellbat because of these huge things or a quest that works, and hasn't got that quest. So it's all a bit muddy, like you've described, and not quite sure where this goes from here.
All right. I mean, I kind of am interested in taking a look at Alex. I want to see how that early game Murloc dependency transitioned into a mid-game plan, because, you know, it could have gone a few different ways. He didn't have to necessarily go all in on the Murlocs, but for the most part, it looks like he has done so with some real big stats online, still getting great use out of the Snicker Snacks.
Yeah, it looks like yeah, an attempt at a triple went wrong, and not went wrong, but it's like, sure, Snake always second prize. It's absolutely fine to live on your board for a while. The challenge which is going to be accepted and worked from Alex most likely is to make sure that your Murlocs have enough health to survive the big divine shields, and honestly giving a decent fight to Eastleaf means you're in a good spot here, even if you lose this fight. Because you fought Eastleaf. Eastleaf is going to kill everybody else for you while you just build your board back up for something.
True. Yeah. Coming down to... 1 out of 3. Yeah, there we go. Ends up on the tie. Very nice. Both players happily walking away from that one. Fritterus in the end, another play that we didn't really get too much of a look at, taking the L there. I think he was on some kind of like a beast comp, it looked like there, on Scabs, but clearly unable to hit that pop-off as, yeah, he had like a Goldrin comp that clearly just wasn't working.
Have a look what's happening with Alicia-san. It's just, yeah. I said, yeah, like it's just sort of bit of everything going on, so level because I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. That might not be their opinion at all, but that was how I would make that play.
Just lacking direction right now. But with a very clear direction here is Tora-san, who's been kind of quietly and unassumingly crawling his way up the leaderboard. Obviously currently the lowest on health and very much in the danger zone against Eastleaf with that Staff of Origination plus all the stats from the Tarragosas. But definitely still with the potential to turn this around. I want to say he's going to be losing this one just because he doesn't have that much repeated effect with the Mama Bears, right?
And interestingly, he's been stealthing the Mama Bears, not the Croc. Where the Mama Bears tend to end up getting sold in these comps eventually, not in any hurry to, whereas the Croc probably lives here. Also, with not much else going on, just the one rat, Mama Bear's getting sniped seems less important than Croc getting sniped, even though it's got the Reborn on it, obviously. Curious to see if he shuffles these around.
How would you do so?
I just put the Croc last, but now he's got a lot more generation. I understand the Mama Bear play a lot better this time around.
All right, let's see how terrible this has gotten. 2 massive Divine Shields. It's scary, but it's not overwhelming for Eastleaf. Like, it's the kind of board that's probably still winning this fight. But for the late game, it's not necessarily an overwhelming insta-win the game kind of board, right?
Yeah, so what Eastleaf has done is what we talked about, which is nice to see. It means we talk about the right things. Use the advantage from getting the staff in time to go to 6. And now the game changes. The staff about now, other than buffing the Tarragosas, starts to lose a bit of its potency.
Yeah.
Because 15-15 on your Tarragosa every time, yeah, it's nice. Like some of that. But there will be people scaling faster than you now and doing nastier things. So now you've really got to be using the fact that you're on 6 to build a new comp that takes you to the final victory. This has got you to top 2 or top 3.
Oh, to be fair, this isn't... Oh, no, okay, it is over. Very close, though. Tora-san actually coming a lot closer than I thought he would to being able to take that one down. Still staying in it for now, as I believe nobody died on that turn. Alicia-san clinging on in there.
Nobody died, but Sottle's informing us that Young Chang lost to the Ghost in that fight.
Hey.
Damage. Well done. It's pretty impressive, because those Ghosts have been around for a while.
Oh my god, the Bran now as well. This Swolfit's gonna get so swole.
I could just see and hear how happy you are about that, Derek, honestly.
It's so big.
Look at him.
I respect the gains, man. I respect the hustle.
Just the most Derek conversation ever. Hasn't taken much damage this whole game either. Remember that he used the hero power 2 or 3 times early on.
Yeah, true. He has been winning almost all his fights, and
yeah.
I mean, you can kind of see.
Wonder why.
Yeah. So how many battle cries do we got here? This is still just 2, right? With the Swolfin and the
Cold Light.
Cold Light as well. And you would rather activate the Cold Light than the Swolfin? Yeah, probably. Swolfin's like big enough here, right? Well, obviously not big enough. You'd like it to be bigger, but the plus health on everything else is probably more important.
I think you get 2 anyway, don't you?
It was nerfed with the little young Murkai, right? He only does the leftmost.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
It, right?
So I meant something else.
Oh, sorry, the Snicker Snacks.
Being dumb.
You get
I'm just being dumb.
Yeah. Sorry, I remember that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not the smartest.
Young Murk is positioning.
So this
Right.
lost to the ghost, which is kind of surprising because this bird buddy is.
It's big, yeah, but far from overwhelming. Like, one big minion that you have to smack into, like, is just going to easily die to the Swolefin on this turn.
Yes, it is. Look at the state of it.
Damn right it is. Okay, how much do we got here? He's at Tavern tier 5 plus 6, so not dead is Yun Chang. He's able to hold in there. Unimpressed
Seen a lot
as
of
he may
Murloc
look.
homes coming sort of middle of the pack.
Yeah.
This is sent 5th place, thank you. Right, so it's time for Eastleaf to actually do something now.
Yeah, exactly.
The easy
We need to
ride up
pick
to
this
now.
up. And how does that work? Because obviously, do you just kind of ignore the fact that you have plus 15 on the rest of your board? Like, obviously the Hydra is bearing that in mind, but the other things you're looking for, again, we keep talking about it, just poisons, Leroy, or are there some other interesting tricks that you can make happen with the rest of this board or with the quest?
I mean, yeah, you've bought yourself time to do what you like to some extent, and I'm sure there's a lot of tricks with the quest, some of which I won't understand just yet. But now you've got far enough that you can start responding to what your opponents are doing and go down the old, you know, Leroy and poison route to finish off who's left. But I'm sure there's plenty of other weird things. Also, stuff to watch out for as well.
True.
Like, it's harder to trigger your 7/4, right? It's harder for Nadina to actually get triggered because it's got plus 15. It might not die.
With the Toxfin, you can obviously get yourself Toxfin, Amalgam, and with the Amber Guardian, you can also give it Divine Shield at the start of combat. But then you start running out of board spaces. What are you making room for here? What do you end on? I guess Mantid Queen instead of the Selfless?
Yeah. The only problem with playing a Mantid Queen is you've got to have a plan for next turn, but you can get rid of the dragon, you're fine.
Yeah, it's just about surviving right now, which is far from a guarantee against Alex. I think Eastleaf should be clocking onto the fact that Alex is a pretty scary opponent at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's just this weird transition. Don't die this turn, find out what your next opponent is, and get a top 2, top 3.
We've got the full poisonage available to Alex right now. Gorgeous hit for Eastleaf, though.
Yeah, if he can like kill off.
Oh no!
Always a poison.
Disaster outcome off the coiler. Oh, that's a good hit.
That's a better one.
Oh, it's not enough, is it? Oh, it's so close, but he actually wins against the Murlocs. I did not expect that, man.
Yeah, the Nadina and just the shields in general, with some poison thrown in, like your 200 means nothing if it hits into a shield, even if it means 1-for-1 as well with something. You know, Torreson just plodding away with these. When I was talking about beasts earlier, this isn't really the build I had in mind. This is a very mediocre build. It's doing fine, it's doing its job, but it's not a thriller.
And Yun Chan's evil twin comp finally falling by the wayside as we end up with Taragosa, Staff, Beasts, and Murlocs to round us out here. It's an interesting dynamic we have in this top 3.
There it is.
That's big. That's big too. Probably hitting Armor Bear with Reborn, although it's not obvious what you make room with.
It's tough.
Like, Mama Bear Reborn is a lot better than I initially gave it credit for, just to give you a higher chance of survivability. Especially now that you probably want Baron in the stealth position. Maybe not, though. Maybe you do still want Mama
Just
Bear
decided he
stealth
didn't want it.
thing.
Which is interesting, which means he's... Because obviously you're going to make room for something at some point, which would have made a chance for you to use the snake for the Reborn. Because you want this Baron in play,
Yeah.
I assume. Perhaps he's going to wait on the Baron and just go one more turn. Surely not.
Selfless with Baron, yeah, there's just not board spaces there. He won the last combat. Nope. Nope. Again, there's the Rattler.
So I think what he was doing there was looking for triple high main so he could sort of sell through and make space.
Yeah, or triple mama.
Or triple mama, yeah.
Agreed.
The scourge will consume you.
Okay, going with the stealth on the mama bear. I do agree with that because again, you have Torn on the
dog.
The Goldrin. The first time round. Yeah, the pup. Very scary pup.
Yeah,
You need a
difference
huge
don't matter.
amount of stats to be able to come through this, which he does have, but against hundreds with divine shields that can be applied multiple times, I don't think it's quite big enough.
I don't either, but I do have a history of underrating beast comps, so I'm just biting
Okay,
a little bit. But I do
Fair enough.
agree with you. Nowhere near, in fact.
Yeah, without poisons now, it's Omega over. It's going to see Torisan going down in 3rd place. A good run for him for sure. And if Alex JP can beat the Ghost, which I think he can, it means we're coming down to a scrap for 1st place here, as I said once again, between the Murlocs and the Omega Tarragosas.
Yeah, it's going to be worth keeping an eye on Torisan, though, because that was a very easy-looking 3rd place. As in, didn't have a great hero, didn't have a great quest, didn't have great cards particularly, and just cruised into a nice 3rd place, which is exactly what you want on this Saturday of Lobby Legends.
Ooh, okay, we're getting some spicy picks here. Golden Selfless, you are happily going to gobble up. Now, we're, of course, looking for Baron, and just the usual suspects of Leroy and Mantid, if you can get your hands on them.
Yeah, the snake's not really that great. It's nice, but
Yeah, you're going to
slot if you need it at any point.
quite happily trade that out at some point.
Are we interested at any point here in taking a Void Lord or something to get rid of Divine Shields? No, because there's a Mantid Queen. Okay, good talk.
Yeah, I like where your head's at, but I think with the ability to reapply them multiple times, like,
Yeah.
you know, you're taking off the Divine Shield, sure, but you're not killing the Tarragosas, most likely.
You had a lot of think about that. Because again, I don't think he knows exactly what he's up against here either, in positioning and so on, so...
For justice.
Reborn on the amalgam, yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, on the coiler one.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. In order to give yourself a little bit more survivability here. And then just praying for that good old Divine Shield on...
Yeah, you can see that. He's going for it first. If he gets the shield, then he can get it re-shielded. He did sell a poison in the middle of that, valuing the buff on the snake for the proc factors. You can see he's put it very early, again, pointing to the fact he needs to find a way to get around these shields after they get re-shielded.
And no one gets any Divine Shields on any of their Mantid Queens at all, kind of hilariously.
Yeah, look at this, though, from the snake. These shields are just going to get proc-a-rooed.
Kind of terrible for JP.
It's a bit awkward, yeah, that he had lost his own there. Everything else looked kind of good.
We're just ending in a probable victory for Alex now, right? Unless he gets his Swolefin poison.
The opposite
tie.
always a tie, unless it doesn't. Yeah, he was losing or tying when he got to that point.
Oh, really?
Everything was poison on poison.
Or the Tarragosas one, but yeah, sure.
Okay. What's the plan? He's seen the board, so he can work around it now.
Yeah, so he knows that getting more Divine Shields is a very big deal. So as we said, Baron, super high up the priority list.
He also has an extra 2 gold if he wants it at any point, because if he loses, he's taking 5 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But don't forget, he didn't get the shield either. He didn't get a particularly great pan out on the last board. The hard part here is working out what Eastleaf is going to do to adjust to this.
Considering the Amber Guardian there in order to Divine Shield up the Amalgam again was very tempting, but eating up another board space, kind of for the most part, a zero-sum game, given that the Gas Coiler is pretty valuable in taking out some Divine Shields of its own. Ends up on the Tunnel Blaster, though, which, I mean, hey, when you have a Reckless Apprentice, sorry, not Reckless, why did my brain tell me that? Selfless Hero, wrong descriptive title named card. It works out really nicely with the Tunnel Blaster as well, in order to destroy their Divine Shields, reapply them to Yords, and hopefully be the difference maker.
Yep. And then hopefully the Snake, once again, the Gas Coiler takes down the remaining Divine Shields. Or this happens, and then you go, yeah, this is a gamble, right? He thinks he's behind, so this is a gamble that he takes out the shields, then Nadina just takes them out again.
Double blast me, dude. Okay. I respect it.
You're talking about what does Eastleaf do with this comp, like after setting up the double Taragoza? Well, what he did was just find 4 poisons to go alongside the big Taragozas and some Divine Shields.
And now we're looking at pretty much a disaster in how this shook out.
Oh, it is now.
The big minions ending up with poison. Yeah, not even close for Alex. And in the end, Eastleaf with such a sick game, man. Like, these Taragosas obviously being a clear game plan right from the start. As soon as he hit the staff of Origination plus the Taragosas, he was always going to be winning the mid game. But the question was, how would he transition into the late game? And he just did it so seamlessly, hitting these amalgams. And then, of course, the Nadina to go alongside that with the extra Divine Shield. I think that was so well played.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Obviously, transitioning is slightly easier when your fillers are 15-15s by default. Like if that's your worst card, your transition is easier. But you have that, you're quite late in the game. That was sort of turn 10, turn 11. He started doing that. So 15-15 isn't great at that point. But we saw the other side of it here with XQN as well. You go for the staff and you don't get there. Look, 36 out of 50, 37, 38, 39. Still a long way from completing his staff when he came 8th place. And it looked that way. It wasn't like he was unlucky. Even when he took the staff, we saw his board. We're like, okay, it's XQN, so we're going to think we're wrong, and he's right. But how's he getting this done? Like, what's his plan to get this done? It looked really difficult. And so you've really got to weigh up your quests, or you do end up in the dumpster.
And now again, it's the vicious cycle of finishing in 8th, because once that happens, you know, you pick staff, it doesn't work out, you end up in 8th. You're going to have to start picking staff again, these riskier quests, in order to get that first or second finish, in order to win this one, because XQN already, even after just the first of 3 games, is thoroughly in the danger zone. Whereas Eastleaf on the other side couldn't have been a more different story. 1st and 8th place, both picking staff of Origination. And I think that spells it out quite perfectly. It's a 1st or 8th kind of quest.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying a little bit to not concentrate too much on the people that we already know, but that's how this works, I'm afraid. I think people are annoyed we're not talking about Penguin Samwell. We just don't know enough about him to really talk a lot at this point, but the more we play Lobby Legends, the more we'll learn about these players and have more to say. And the reason I give that little speech is because I thought Alex, who we know and love from both formats, I thought played in a very, very comfortable manner there. And the player I don't know much about, Torresan, I thought was superb in that seamless looking 3rd place, like just looked mediocre in a good way throughout, as in, yeah, nothing bad's happening to me, I'm just gonna get 3rd and go home.
Yeah, it was a very respectable game plan, right? You start off the early game with a nice quick quest completion, and of course making use of the Grey Bow hero power in order to survive with all the beast synergy, and then that just lends itself very cleanly into going for a full-on beast strat, which he did end up on in the end, almost enough to see him through, but ending up in 3rd place with Alex JP in 2nd, and Eastleaf taking it all down in 1st place. A very interesting game, and again, we're just seeing different comps win every single time. I love to see it.
That was literally just Taragoza, Divine Shield, Poison. I mean, what even
do? Yeah,
just some words, right? It's great.
We'll happily take that.
Like big Divine Shield, whether that big is poison or whether that big is 700 attack, is obviously still the best thing you can do in this game. It's just a lot harder to set up Divine Shield poison now. But the synergy with Nadina buffing up your Amalgam, but also buffing up your 2 Taragozas, which means you can poison your Amalgam, which gives you only 3 spots to mess around. It's just nice how comps come together now. You really have to... There's no set pattern a lot of the time. You just think on your feet and cards that work. I like it.
Right, you are. So we're going to go now to a quick break, and when we come back, the fifth of our 6 games that we are playing today, and of course the second game for Group B. So stick around to see if we can see the continued dominance of Eastleaf, or whether XQN can turn things around from an 8th place and pull his way back in to a chance at getting through to tomorrow. We'll see if all of that comes to fruition after this break.